Well guys, welcome back to another Hunley Garage. Gonna do another battery review, I guess you could say. I did a video on a solar charger, and what I want to do next is do a test, I guess, with it versus the Victron. And the only problem is it's kind of crappy. It's fall here, it's been raining, and it's kind of crappy out. It's supposed to get to below freezing. So, and then it's supposed to get back up to like 60 degrees. So it's real pretty out, but not really conducive to doing a solar charger review. But anyway, some people have asked about my Dr. Prepare battery. So they had reached out a while ago and asked if I do a review on it. And this is on my Campprevost YouTube channel. And I said, sure, so I did a review on it. And since then, I've done some modifications and mentioned it. And a few of you have said, you know, could you guys do a review on what you did? And so that's what this video is gonna be. It's just I'm gonna open this up and show you a little bit about the battery and what I added. So as an introduction to this battery, it's, you know, the shape of a traditional battery. You can take these off, but that's really the only way to carry it. They're just looped down through here. And they have, this one's got like the traditional battery posts on it. And it's a 100 amp, 12 volt battery. It's a lithium iron phosphate, so it's actually 13.2 volt, but it's got a 100 amp BMS on it, just like everything else. But the one thing, I like this battery. The one thing that they offered natively was, you can see this thing's missing. They have this. And what this does is it kind of takes this battery and you plug this into it. And then all of a sudden you've got, if you press this button up here, some blue lights come on. You've got a cigarette lighter, and then you've got two USBs, USB-C, and I forget, honestly, it says DC out, but I don't know what plug that is. And then this is a built-in solar charge controller. I don't know, I can't remember unless it says here on the back, which I'm sure it probably does. See if I can get it to focus. So the USB-C is a max 30 watt. The solar is 11 to 25 volt input, and DC out 10 amp. But this makes it a really useful battery. The one thing I thought it was missing are these next items. So the one thing I thought it was missing is, how do you know what the state of charge is? They have this button here and you press it and it gives you 4 lights, but what does that mean? And so what I did was I added, I just found this on Amazon and it works real well. And you can program this too, but it tells you how many amps are being drawn, the current voltage, current wattage being drawn. And then this is a 100 amp hour battery. And so based upon what's being pulled, so like if I turn these lights on, so it's showing in real time, I got, 5.8 watt being pulled against there. And that tells you how much time is left to run that. So I thought that was a really nice added feature. So then the other thing was, I thought, every battery needs a light. And so on my other battery box build, I put these lights on, and it came with a package of 4. And so I was like, well, I'll just do 2 and 2. And so I mounted these 2 to here, and then I put the switch in here. And these things are super bright, but they're super bright. And like I said, showed here, they're only, with both of them, 6 watts. So it'll run that for a long time. So I thought that was a real nice addition. So then the other thing, even though you've got these battery posts right here, the other addition is I like to have everything kind of clean. And so I put this Anderson plug on here. And so I had to tear kind of the battery apart. I'll go ahead and open it up. It takes a little bit to get in there. But to put this guy in this plug, had to rip it apart. And the reason I do that, so that you guys do what you want, but those plugs, that's the wrong drawer. Those plugs are good for 50 amps. And so I've got this, I did a review on this. They reached out to me, and I think it's a nice inverter. It seemed well. I can't verify, that it's a sine wave, but that's what they claim, and seemed like a good company. But it was 110 volt, so I'm asking them to see if we can up it to 120. So I think they're gonna try and then right back, but it makes it nice. Anyway, I can plug like this inverter in, and I've got this smaller inverter. I can plug it in, and then I've also got this inverter down here. I could plug it in, and I've also got some different solar charge controller and different components. And so kind of the I like to keep it clean. So having this 50 amp Anderson plug back here, it makes this kind of a nice package. You can beat up against it and drop it, lay it on its side, and everything kind of holds together. So I really like that plug. The other thing I might do another review on, and again, I've got another channel, Campprevost, and had a big bus, 45-foot long Prevost, and I've since sold it. But Set Power reached out and asked if I do a review on that cooler, and of course, I'm not going to turn this stuff down. I never heard of Set Power, but I don't know. You got to try this stuff. You don't know if it's any good or not. And this cooler, I mean, take my word for it, I guess. It is freaking awesome. I've got, the big, I think it's an Orca cooler up there. I don't even use it anymore because I just I take this battery or the other one, and I've got this, it's got this plug right here, and I can plug this cooler into it, and I think I can run it for, I don't know how long, it's days, 5 days or something. And we actually went on a camping trip, and not really travel trip, and the people's place that we went to, their power went out, and so we ended up bringing this in their house, and they were able to save their food. But this thing is freaking awesome, and it doesn't draw that much. It's only like 40 to 60 watts, I think. And I've got these solar panels. I ended up ordering those from Alibaba for my bus, and I loved them so much I ended up keeping 2 of them. Those are 80 watt SIGS solar panels. They're not monocrystalline, but they're freaking awesome. So that's 160 watt, and this cooler is only like 60. So if I have it plugged into this battery and I have those solar panels outside, it'll run itself indefinitely. But I don't know, it's pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do now is I will take this guy apart. To take it apart, there are screws everywhere, because I don't know if this is waterproof or not. It probably says on up here. It doesn't say waterproof, but it's sealed up. It was until I cut the holes in it. But there's a screw like right here, 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 and here, here, and here. So I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta take those little plugs out, and they're all different sizes. So I'm gonna take all these plugs out, take all the screws out, and then I'll pick it back up. All right, so I took all the screws out. There's all of those pieces. And I'm gonna try to show you what I did inside of here. This is tough at best getting all this stuff in here, but this panel is stuck inside. So what I did, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me see if I can open this up here a little better. All right, so there's a little bit of space up inside of here. And so you can see I put the shunt up top. And so what I had to do was take all the negatives off of that post and put a splice in there and then wire it up to the shunt. And then on the shunt to the other side, it goes to the battery's BMS. The one thing that you guys are gonna say in here is that I don't have is some fuses and things like that, and I don't. The battery BMS is 100 amp, and it'll cut itself off. So you've gotta kind of be careful. You know, I mean, if you want some fuses, put them externally, I guess. You can see the switch in the back there. And then also right in here, you can see the Anderson connector. So I ran a 4-gauge wire to it. And so that's only good for 50 amp, not 100. And so you kind of have to know kind of what you're doing. I did have to take that wire off. And then, like I said, so I've got the shunt, the Anderson connector, and then I also have the lights wired up in there as well. And then you can see where I cut the top of that box and stuck the monitor. But it takes quite a bit of finagling to get all of that in there. As you can see, let's see if I can turn this around a little bit. So I had cut that Anderson connector in there. There's a little bit of space on that side, so I was able to fit it up in there. And then the lights, I had to end up kind of taking some of the board apart to get the wiring up through there correctly and then routed around. But it's kind of a pain to get all these wires back in here. So to kind of show you how to do it is tough, but it is possible. There's like the Anderson connector up in there. There was where I put the switch. Again, that's where I put the module there so that I can see all the power. And then when I put this back down, I've got to just kind of ever so slightly move all of the wires so that they don't get crimped and in the way. But yeah, that's it. So this isn't for the faint of heart. Do it at your own risk. And when it's all kind of put back together, I think it kind of makes kind of the perfect battery. So probably take me a half an hour to put that lid back on there. So hope you guys like watching this. Got some haters, I guess, in the comments. Think I get paid a whole bunch of money for this. I don't, you know, Dr. Prepare reached out and wanted me to do a video on their battery, so I did. And then I paid to put all this stuff in here, but I use it. So it's not like I make money off of it. You know, it's kind of more showing, I think this stuff's cool. And if you guys do too, then I don't know, kind of a win-win. But yeah, that's this Dr. Prepare battery. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and try to put it back together here and I'll kind of do a summary. Well, I got this back together, got all the little plugs in there. But yeah, I think it's a pretty sweet battery. Like I said, you can drop it on its side. Its back, I wouldn't drop it on the floor, but you know, really the only thing I added were some lights, and they're 5 watts, so I don't think I need fuses for that. And I added this. The rest of the stuff, this is a 100 amp shunt, and so the BMS for the battery is 100 amp, so I think it should be good for there. And you're usually, I mean, you're just protecting the wires, is what you're doing, and the wires that are in there are sufficient. You guys can run, figure out and run what your own are. Yeah, the only other thing, like I said, I added that you could pull too much power on. This is a 50 amp plug. I have a 6 gauge wire on it, so it's only good for 50 amp. And so I'm only gonna pull that. And if I do run a bigger load, you know, I think it's good for a minute or two, but I wouldn't do it much more than that unless you run. These are the cables that you need to run. So you start to, that's a big cable. It wouldn't even fit in here. So that's the beauty of like 24 volt, 48 volt, is that the wire size goes down dramatically. And so when you run 12, you know, it is what it is. What I thought would be cool is to get enough batteries and you could run them together and make a 24 volt. And then, you know, if you're gonna tap out at, you know, 50, with the other one you're at 100. So at any rate, that's this Dr. Prepare for the people that wanted to see inside of there. Hope that was helpful. And if you liked the video, hit like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more, and I'll catch you on the next one.